Hello, welcome to another League of Legends VOD review. This is a match that I played as Volibear. Volibear's been seeing a lot more attention in the meta, with the nerfs to Udyr and especially Olaf. I've been seeing a good little bit more of the new Volibear play, especially with his buff to his AP ratios in or his AP scaling with his E, which gives him a shield. It whatever he stands in, it gives him a shield. The AoE that he can summon down from above. The runes I run on Volibear for this are Press the Attack, Triumph, Legend of Alacrity, Last Stand, Nimbus Cloak, and Water Walking. I think Rengar was like free for the weekend or something, because this was like the second game in a row as Volibear I had played against a Rengar. So we're gonna talk a little bit about how this starts out right here actually. So anyway, there was a couple times I ran into Rengar players in the jungle. So I'm gonna show y'all how I actually fought against this Rengar for this very beginning. So at the very beginning, whenever I start a round, I ping which camp I want to start. Specifically, more so if it's red buff or blue buff, I ping which one. But I'm gonna go place a ward usually on or close to the pixel on the opposite side of the river. So say I want to start red, I'm gonna throw a ward either in the pixel bush, in my own river bush right here. If I'm really ballsy, I'll throw it in front of their raptors. I'm in this bush and I immediately see Rengar. No, I don't play Rengar, but what I know about his kit is that he basically excels in jumping in and out of bushes. So if you try to fight him outside of a bush with a character that's very squishy and doesn't have a lot of sustain, if you don't do damage, Rengar's probably going to kill you. This Volibear's kind of tanky. Now, Rengar does get into the bush right here, so he gets a decent first attack on me right here. So at this point in the fight, he's already up on the health just because he up on health on being 1v1, just because he was able to get in the bush and jump at me. So what I do to him is jump back in the bush with him. Now, it obviously helps that my mid laner was here to help me fight. But I start with my W on this fight, and it basically enhances my auto attacks. So, like I'd planned before, I have my ward pretty close to where I want it, and then I want to go to the camp that I had cleared out, or called out at the beginning, so I can actually start my jungle rotation phase. And it's where I go through my red side clear. And you notice the shield that I just got, I actually use my E for my second point, which in my opinion you should do that. Just for the sake of helping you clear. It gives you a little bit of health. I just thought the invade would be the right thing right here. And after looking at this, okay, Rengar has cleared out the entirety of his blue side. That's where he started. That's what's going to respawn first. I really wanted to contest the scuttle. The reason that it kind of makes it okay for me to challenge right here is because he was half health, right? So I really, at this point, I've chased Rengar off of this topside scuttle. I didn't want to do anything else right here, because I just want the scuttle. I'm not actually looking to fight him, because I know good and well his mid laner's already right there, and my Diana's coming back off a respawn. There's no reason for me to start a fight here. I just want scuttle. So yeah, Rengar gets into his bush and jumps at me once, but then he turns back around because his mid laner isn't directly there to help him. And I get the scuttle, and once I hit that scuttle camp and kill the scuttle camp, it automatically gives me level 3, so I can use that on my Q, which is a chase down stun. And my mid laner actually comes back in time off of respawn to help me fight the 2v2 jungle mid combo against the Rengar and the mid lane Kai'Sa or Akali that they're playing, not Kai'Sa. But yeah, we get Rengar really weak. And because we just fought Rengar to the point that he has to back, with the information that I had in invading the jungle earlier and looking at Rengar that entire time, I knew he didn't have his red buff, and I knew he started off on bot side for his clears. So that means his red buff is free, and we have a numbers advantage as far as if you cut the map in half from top, mid, and jungle. If you cut the map in half and only account for that much, Rengar has to back here. He can't come back in with no health. He'll die again. So, his red buff is mine. A smart player would make this play, and a smart player would probably go take Krugs as well. Now, I don't go to the trouble of doing Krugs because I see that Set is pretty much at the 50-yard line here. He and Gnar are fighting, and I wanted to take this as a potential opportunity to gank Set. So I get right here, stun to Set. We do get the kill on him. So I'm trying to help him clear out a couple camps. The mistake that I make is walking back toward the bush at the very last second only to realize that Rengar's here, which is a really bad thing to do. Now I am up a level on him and I do have his red buff. He's got a full health bar. That's not great. Rengar's already like one step into the bush. He can get into the bush and he just like takes away half my health instantly with one of his abilities. So what I do is I stun him as soon as he's outside the bush, and I E myself to give myself a little bit of a health shield because he should be kicking my ass right now. And the problem right here for him, the problem right here for the Rengar is that he didn't fully commit to fighting and killing me. And he gets stunned again because of the Mega Gnar. And that actually results in me turning back around and helping, or having the Gnar help me kill him again. And then I can go right onto my blue side and finish off my blue side clear, like I probably should have done 3 minutes. Volibear's still pretty tanky at this point. I haven't backed yet, so this is kind of dangerous to do. This is actually really dangerous to do right here. And the only reason I do is because I know I'm up a level on him, and I still have my own blue buff. I also know that because he's clearing, he cleared my vision over on his blue buff. I know he's doing his, or I know he's literally doing that camp for the second time. Now his bot side is remarkably pushed up on me, or on my team rather. So their bot side actually should have went to help him here. But what you're going to see is just me being able to sneak into his blue buff for free and stealing his blue buff. And I just stun him and kill him. I've done a little bit of my camps through, or I've done my second clear of 2 of the red side camps, since I technically did the Raptors at the very end of the first rotation after I'd gotten 2 kills. And at this point in the game, I'm already a monster. I'm 3-0-1. Like I've decisively gotten a lead over this Rengar. I'm 21 CS over him. I've invaded him. I've effectively counter jungled him like I'm supposed to. This has all really been one big snowball from the very first fight that we had in the opposite side pixel bush. And it's also a little bit of knowledge for me about as far as how to fight this Rengar at the very beginning. And then, having done the first invade earlier when I know he's going at his blue, putting a ward there and then having that ward stay there until he goes to clear it a second time, when I'm already close enough to help fight against him. And now I have double buffs again. So at this point, I actually back for the first time after 3 kills and an assist. I rush the Lucidity Boots. I make sure to get the Bomby Cinder, I think it's called. Yes, Bomby Cinders. And I try to get some armor and magic resist items so I can be a little bit tankier. I'm sitting on double buffs. I want to secure this. I want to get this first dragon. So I get a couple different visions on it. I know I still have red buffs, so I can still do a good bit of extra damage onto the dragon while I'm clearing it. And plus I have a good bit of sustain because I keep using my E on myself. So ultimately, this was a really, really good solo dragon take for me. I get very greedy right here, but it pays off and my teammates getting a kill. So this was a little bit of a mess of a fight here. Collapse on it, or red team's trying to collapse on us while we're getting a push onto the bot tower. So they're gonna have their two bot laners right here. Their mid and their jungle are gonna roam down toward us, but because I believe Rengar stepped over this vision, and I believe Akali did as well. So I know they're gonna collapse on us. So what we need to do as a team is use this arch of the wall to our advantage, and use this as a separation tool for their team. So collectively, you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 people on the side of the map for them, and there's 3 of us. Okay, so technically we are outnumbered, but what we need to do is to even this out somehow. So the way to look at it now is to try to make a fight that's either over here and make it end as quick as possible, or make a fight over here and make it end as quick as possible. The problem with that is that there's a turret here, and it's not that easy to fight under their turret. So what we need to do is fight in a place where we have more vision control, i.e. this ward right here, the scuttle ward, and this ward that's also placed right here at the end of the river. So what we need to do is turn this either into a 2v2 right here, or we need to turn it into a 3v2 right here. Ideally, this is where we want to fight. And my ult doesn't hit either of them, but I stunned the Rengar again, and Kai'Sa is actually able to come up behind us and help us get a kill on one of these. So what we have effectively done at this point, so here's what happened. We used the bottom ridge right here to our advantage, because we turned what was a 2v2 right here with our ADC rotating around. We effectively turned this 2v2 into a 3v1 because our ADC came in to help. Our Kai'Sa has pretty decent range to help us fight right here. So we've turned this into a numbers advantage that went for us. So it originally went from a 4v3, and now we are 3v1 right here specifically. And we're going to get the kill on the mid laner. Oh, no, sorry. She actually does get away. Okay, my apologies. She does get away. However, and their ADC and their support do come to turn on us right here. However, the thing that they did wrong was target our support. What they should have done was target the Kai'Sa, because she's gonna do more damage. I'm building tanky, and I do a little bit of damage, but I'm not made to fight the Vayne. So they target the Nami, and what happens is that we make a whole nother 2v2 right here, because the enemy team's bot lane rotated around. So essentially it's essentially just an even fight at this point. So immediately what I do to start this fight right here is E myself so I can have a good bit of health back. I try to help the Kai'Sa a little bit with this Nautilus that's going at him. And the enemy Vayne is kiting around hitting me for health. Try to take some of my health away. So I can immediately turn back over toward the Vayne, use my stun on the Vayne, and that's going to result in easy damage done for my ADC, and it's going to get me a kill on their Akali, who decided to come back in even though she didn't have any health. Now, at this point, we've essentially fought a 3v. We fought the 3v4. We've only lost one person and they lost 3. So, big win right here for us. Just because their team did not path efficiently at all. And it resulted in us creating our own numbers advantages and snowballing a little bit of our lead and a little bit into our bot side as well. Whenever we finish that fight, if I feel like I still have enough sustainability with my E, which I do, I go back to my red side, clear my red side, and I know my blue side's going to be coming back up. So I know I need to clear out some of my blue side. I do want to try to see if I can gank the set right here. And we actually do make a really good tower dive. And it actually results in the final kill for the game for me. But I know Gnar was getting a little bit beaten up in the top. Well, he's been bullying the set, but he's been ganked or attacked in some form. He's died 3 times in a row. And it would be really good if I could help him out even more against this set who's already struggling. So, it's just... At this point, for me, it's a matter of where can I go on the map that helps my team snowball. And Gnar's got an enormous farm lead against this set. This set is pretty much out of the game. And Rengar's 30 CS behind me. It's nowhere near as bad of... The CS difference anyway, individually, it's nowhere near as bad. Now the kill death difference is significant in the junglers here, me being one of them. But it's just because I've taken advantage of my own kit, and I've taken advantage of where they are in the jungle at very specific times, and it's just been. It was just a really, really good start to a game. Couldn't have asked to do much better. And with my... knowing that I need to farm to continue this lead, I try to take whatever camps I can from the Rengar while Rengar's dead. I need to take any sort of camps that I can from my own when they're available. I do get super greedy right there. And I'm kind of lucky they didn't turn back on me because we don't have any damage. It was just me and the support. So I decided to back off. Or at least try to fake that I'm backing off. And as a result, I do just start trying to fight them instead. And we actually get help from our mid laner in time, and our mid laner gets a kill onto the Rengar. So at this point, Diana, our mid, is 4 kills now, 2 assists. So she's mean now. Which the early invades on a jungler, it will do that to you. Like when you've been when the Rengar's been messed around with as much as I've messed around with him in this game, it's so hard to be useful. It is so hard to be useful. And at this point, we're coordinating dives. Like you saw the dive on the top tower. I used my ult to knock the tower out for 3 seconds, and then we just dive. Both compositions really have a ton of diving and going in and attacking. Yeah, both compositions do have a lot of that. Like jump in and stun people up against a wall is pretty effective for CC. It's kind of hard to execute in my opinion. I'm supposed to dive in and be a literal meatball. Diana is a little bit more of a melee character, but she has a good bit of AP scaling. And Kai'Sa's not exactly a long-range ADC. She has long-range abilities. But this composition is pretty much made to dive in, and so is theirs. Set's literally made to just grab someone and fling their heaviest fling their heaviest teammate into the enemy team. Rengar is supposed to be able to jump out of a bush and attack you like that. Akali is an assassin. She's supposed to come in from the back line. So I think the main difference in our compositions, even though we're both a little bit dive compy, I think our team is a little bit more front to back, per se. Now, we do lose the team fight right here. They're a little bit more pit comp. We're a little bit more front to back team fight comp. And that's ultimately what won this game, was the team fighting. Like, the kills aren't that spread apart. It's just that the objective game was just like, it was incredibly overwhelming how dominant we were in the objective gameplay. And a lot of that, a ton of that has to do with shutting down the Rengar. Rengar's died 9 times before 24 minutes. It's pretty... It was just mean. It was a mean lane phase. And taking advantage of the enemy team. But our team fight composition, front to back, was just too much for them to really effectively play against. See here, we just, if we can get picks on their people who are supposed to do their damage, like it's impossible for them to fight us. And that's how we win the game. Hello, this is Caveman PRDR. Thank you for joining me on another one of my YouTube videos today. If you enjoyed the content, please like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment down below any questions or comments that you have about the content. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.